Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Facing the Music with Terry Oldfield. My name is John Valdivia, producer at ithesound.com. This series, curated from candid conversations, will introduce a return to the mystery and wonder of existence, as well as our necessity to confront ourselves. We shall also feature selected pieces from Terry's extensive musical anthology. In this episode, Terry covers a wide array of topics such as boredom, intelligence, and the illusion of separation, among others. Welcome to Facing the Music.
Boredom is something which is saying something else should be happening other than what is happening. It's not my expression, but somebody said that awareness is focused attention. I quite like that, you see, because attention can be refocused and refocused and refocused. Like that's what people do with meditation, with breathing, refocusing on this, refocusing that. But Krishnamurti always used to say that such a mind, of course, it'll go quiet, but such a mind is a dull, stupid mind, he used to say, because that is a trained seal who's just acting through repetition. There's no real solid intelligence in that. I always like to think of intelligence, real intelligence becomes intelligence in action. Seeing through as you go, without getting caught up in that reaction with the environment. Reactive experience, reactive living is how most of us live, until we wake up to the fact that we are living as automatons. Reacting to a stimulus based solely on past experience. And that's reaction, not pure action. Pure action is something new. It contains the elements of using the tool of memory, of course, because otherwise we couldn't function in this world. But pure action is free because it's moving with the flow of creation. I don't see the ego as a necessity. The mind-body mechanism is the tool of consciousness, or the vehicle of consciousness. There's a lot we can learn from some of these movies, like Avatar, actually. And there's this sleeping figure, like Vishnu, on his couch, dreaming the universe. Through all these avatars, there's never going to be a satisfactory explanation for this, because it's an ongoing unfolding. This is where it all happens. And if you want me to answer questions, it's like Ramana, he just didn't answer questions. And that's why Paul Brunton, who originally found him, the first Westerner to enter his ashram, he got it from the silence. He was so frustrated. If you read his book, A Search in Secret India, I recommend that. It's a wonderful read, because Paul Brunton, who's an incredible, prolific writer, he went to India and he visited yogis and gurus and went to the Himalayas and everything. And he, spent time with all these incredible people. And when he visited Ramana wouldn't talk to him. He wouldn't answer any questions. He just stared at him. And he was so frustrated that he left, went off in his bullock cart and was about to leave India. And he was in a hotel in Mumbai or whatever. And he suddenly thought, well, who out of every single guru, yogi that I've met in my travels, who really has struck me most? And it was Ramana. So he made the 700-mile journey back in bullock carts and trains and went back there. And Ramana, when he saw him, smiled. And he thought, oh, something's happening. So he stayed in the little hut. And while he was in the hut, he went through all sorts of terrible experiences, inner stuff. But one day when he was sitting in Ramana's room with him, he experienced silence. And he looked up and he just saw Ramana looking at him. And that was the moment he disidentified from that process of thinking. And that's when he was able to meet with Ramana. So Ramana was just ruthless. I don't exist in that realm of thought. So if you want to meet me, come here. And they were immediately friends. It was all very instant. We visited an ashram in India once, and the greeting was Namo Narayana. That's what everyone said to each other. They're supposed to be recognizing the one in the other, okay? And for me at the time, because I wasn't open enough or ready, I found this very pedantic. Because we had been told to greet each other like this. And it didn't come from the heart, and so that you had all these people coming in saying, Namo Narayana. It didn't come from a place of recognition. And I could feel it didn't come from a place of recognition in me. And therefore, I couldn't feel it. I couldn't even say it, really. And so much of this happens, like in Australia, you go to a supermarket. How was your day? Oh, yeah, good, thanks. It's like, what the hell? Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? I can give you my day if you really like. I can, I've had a shitty day. You can't really get away from it. It's in our language. How you doing? Fine, thanks. Good morning. Good morning. Is it really a good morning? I mean, it's raining or whatever. And that honesty has turned into a kind of flippant interaction between us. And so the language, if you really look and listen as you walk about, it detracts. It doesn't support awakening. It doesn't, So people say, well, I'm going to go and join an ashram, but, it's the same wherever you go, unless you're ready. You cannot just pay lip service to God. God won't listen. Because the pseudonym of Terry, the story of Terry, is trying to say, I see you. Well, God doesn't reflect Terry, because Terry is just a story or a figment of imagination. Yeah? The actual true reflection comes when this is empty. And then God agrees. We get lost in the language because as soon as you assume that there is somebody in here that is making decisions and making choices, you're caught up in that illusion of separation between you, yourself, and what's happening. And we know from many years of pondering this that the self is an illusory thing made up of history, memories, and as soon as that is seen through, we start to see that there is just what is happening. There is nobody doing anything or making any decisions. If there's a retreat away from an action, that is also part of the being lived. There is only ever a choice in retrospect, because you cannot make a choice in the present moment. The present moment is something that is carrying us, and to make a choice there, you're saying, I'm separate from this flow and I am going to decide what happens here. It's not like that. If we get caught up in the language of I could have done that, or I should have done that, or I might do that, you can do that in a sense of planning an airline trip or a train or whatever. You can even set an alarm and wake up at 4 a.m. But that's to fit in with certain predictions. We often find that predictions aren't always accurate.
Thank you for listening to Facing the Music. We want to extend our gratitude for your company today. For enriching context and further insight into our series, do visit ithesound.com/Terry. We have provided all the pertinent information in the description. For those interested in delving deeper into Terry's compelling journey, his biography, Only Now, is readily available on all major online bookstores. It is an intimate and insightful account of a life dedicated to music and spiritual awakening. Lastly, please visit terryoldfield.com to stay up to date with Terry's latest endeavors. Once again, thank you for your time. This is John Valdivia from ithesound.com.